get myself in trouble. I just almost got through this. Okay, here's something I want to throw out. Coaches always go, she was round in her handstand. I go, no, she wasn't. She was piped. Okay, straight is straight.
Yes.
All handstands must finish extended and straight. And if someone wants to say their chest should be hollow, okay, your chest can be hollow, but your hips should be flat, you should be straight. And the line on top is straight. That's pretty. I mean, her head's in line, that's actually a beautiful point. I like that. You don't see that very much. What you do see is kids avoid going over by remaining piped in their hip. They also look piped in their hip because their quads are so tight that they can no longer flatten out or extend their hip. So sometimes it can be anatomical. You know, the kid just can't get there. But straight is straight, and that's what you should have at the top of the handstand. You stop a handstand from going over by the extension to the shoulder groove, not by hiking or sticking your chest out. All right. The downswing is pretty darn good, and we know that because she's pretty high in this finger. Again, the components of this release, takeoff is pretty good. Components of Ginger, similar things we're looking for. Looking for height, and we're looking for rotation. Well, I'll give you one other thing to look at. Right when they come through the bottom, if they've done a good job of turning as a unit, you won't see that. Did you see the split?
And you might not have seen it in regular speed.
What happens with the Ginger is if the body doesn't turn as a unit, when they hit the bottom or near the bottom, the legs will always split because gravity pulls you straight. Okay, that's just if you're not squared up when you get to the bottom, gravity's going to straighten you out. When it does, your legs fly apart. So what you're really seeing is that the athlete didn't turn their body in a single unit by shortening one side. And you can just look for that little bottom tweak thing, and you'll see it a lot on Heelys, by the way. You know, people go, the Heely's got to finish. I saw your ankles wrong up there. And it's so hard to see, but if you look to the bottom of the swing, you'll see a little jerk or a little yip at the bottom. This is pretty good. It's a little more pipe than I would have liked. And she's just finishing up. See how she's starting to split in there? There it is.
There it is.
And that's a common thing. If you watched, if you probably watched 20 Gingers, you'd probably see 18 of them do that. I mean, when you see one that turns to one-piece skill and stays laid out and has both height and rotation, again, height and rotation, then you're in good shape. Any questions? Really hard skill. In my opinion, to do without deduction is probably the hardest of the big three. The big three, reverse hack, Ginger, and Jaeger. I just think it's a difficult skill to do clean. And when someone does one well, boy, it's special. Can I say that?
Well, and that was pretty special.
I told him, when I start getting politically incorrect, like this. All right, here we go. Next skill.
Pat.
Did something else too.
It's going down.
Okay, I want to talk about this. See how much she height coming down? That is an acceptable, yet I think somewhat crude technique.
So we're not deducting, but
Okay, now it's something perfect. I want to talk about downswing first. There's a lot of ways to get down out of a handstand. Okay, you can round down. I think it's a little, when you pike, I think that's acceptable. I mean, no one says you can't. I didn't see it anywhere that says excessive pike and a downswing to a bail is a deduction. So it's an acceptable technique. I think it is the crudest of the next three I'm going to describe to you. The next one would be round down. And then there's a third one where you planche the shoulders and the body actually stays laid out the whole time, and you reduce the swing by keeping the shoulders closed and then opening out. And you'll see kids when they do this technique, they'll lift their head and they'll be a little bit archy. I find that to be, again, this is Neil, not clinician. I find it very aesthetically pleasing, much more so than a 90-degree pike down to the floor, where they open up and it's kind of like you see the drops in the big toe on toe offs, or for that matter, a clear drop that stays open and then hobbles at the bottom. I think it's a very refined technique, and I personally find it more aesthetically pleasing. But that's a preference. No deduction shouldn't, and that I know of, for a pike. But hollow down and that stretch to swing down, and there's one of them later that will show you our more refined techniques. Now, when she catches the low on this pack somersault, this is a good thing to watch in packs. If the skill has been done really well, right when they contact the rail, the dynamics of the lift and the swing are that she's not going to bend her elbows like she does right there. See how she's collapsing down a little bit? That skill should, I always tell kids, you got to meet the bar. You go to the bar doesn't come to you. And there should be an extension of the shoulders on contact. Go on shoot over, counter swing, and pack. Now, did anyone see that river motion? Yeah. When I saw her catch in river motion the first time I went, she broke. She broke down. It wasn't boom. It was When you go something's wrong. And I did see it in river motion. And I think that's. I think that and I know when you're in the gym every single day, and in fact, I go on vacation, I come back, my eyes, to some extent, I've lost my eye. I go to World Championships, and I come back, kids hate me. My eyes retrained. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my kids used to hate it when I went to training camp because it's like, whoa, we're in for it now.
Do you think the choice of technique for rounding up does often affect the handstand, and that's a place where you might take she, for example, hits the pike and
I've never thought of it that way, but absolutely.
That's the most extended she gets.
She's both plunging her shoulders and plunging, so she did a little bit of both. But this is a nice high pack, but that's the problem I have. She claps and breaks down. Okay, I'll give you a little kicking thing to look for. There are shruggers and there's bouncers and kips. Okay, and a shrugger is someone that keeps her arms straight by shrugging and casts. Okay, and then the bouncers are kids that kip and bounce off lower down on their leg. And I'll give you a little trick. When you see kids with lots of chalk way down here, they usually cast really well. When you see kids with chalk on their belly button, you know there's a problem. And I'm throwing this out as a coach, but it's something to look for. Where's that kid launching off the bar? Unless she shrugs well, she's going to be a little further down her leg. So, yeah. New technology, our new language. Very nice. All right, let's stop. Let's talk about the full twist giant a little bit. Who saw the leg split? Great. Why'd she leg split? She leg split, from what I can see, because she didn't displace she didn't get over her turning arm enough. She did a hula turn. It never really got over her turning arm quite enough. See her move her hand in? I heard an interesting thing. That's going to be illegal internationally here. And I disagree with that. I don't understand that. But now, she's going to get a leg split here because she doesn't quite get over her turning arm. Her wrist shifts a little late. See how she's over here? She should be over there. Okay, she never got, and there's some answers to that. From a technical standpoint, she tried. She narrowed her base of support, which will make turning a little easier. And again, I hear that's going to be deduction. I don't quite, if you slide your hand, I don't quite understand that because it's a method of staying in the center of the bars. And I don't particularly feel it's an inferior technique. But what I really look for, as they start to ride up, I usually see the better posters will slide this hand a little bit into the center and post. Okay, so their hand will actually slide on the rail and then they'll push on the arm. She never got over her post arm enough. And to catch up, her leg split. She finished pretty high up there. That looks pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in your way. All right, how about I move back here? Because I have these glasses and I can't look at the bottom.
Now watch it at regular speed and see if you can see the thing. At regular speed, would you have taken anything?
I have.
Maybe a quarter if you do that.
I saw it.